and artist promotions, great music and vibe. Morning Connection with Julia Mikkel Benaya, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. weekdays on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Blessings and light. This is Aymara, the musical revolutionary. Your host on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. This and every Monday at 3 p.m. From the home to the community, let us be the change we want to see. Join me this and every Monday at 3 p.m. on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
For all your new construction and remodeling needs, come to Gillings and Things Hardware Store. Located in Danieltown, Falmouth, Trelawney, Gillings and Things Hardware offers the best prices in building materials. So call us today at 876-345-5156. That's 876-345-5156. At yahoo.com. We deliver. Gillings and Things Hardware Store. You name it, we have it.
Another banger, baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body.
Fit community, fit world. This is Aymara, the musical revolutionary on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in the service of my fellow citizens. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Struggle goes on. We are the builders of the pyramids. We are the builders of the stone cities of Zimbabwe. We build them White House. We build them factories. With blood, with sweat, with tears. With flesh, with bones. Them use, build them economy. Now them want come con you and me. With them science and them technology. We make them take with knowledge. Now them are deaf way. Them are blind way. We are walk, we are ride, we are drive, we are fly. Nah look, nah see. Eyes focus on the screen of an iPhone, Galaxy, tablet, Blackberry. Wake up, look. Uno no sister them a bury with. Ancestors crying out. Them a weep, you see we heading back to slavery. I'll take all little recession left the world in depression. Legal and illegal drugs and alcohol on the rise. In interest and lives, prostituting our sons, daughters, and wives. Yes. Good afternoon. It's January 23, right? And this is Aymara, the musical revolutionary, on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7, right? www.fitfm.ja. We're also simulcasting on www.primal4k.com. Yes, we are ready to roll. We are here today with another informative, entertainment, edutainment program. You know, we will have Patrick Beckford, we will have Simone Maddox, a new kind of justice. So we are ready to roll. There's happening in Jamaica, and there's so much things happening across the world, you know. So we give thanks that we are alive and we have strength and we have energy, you know, to continue to inform our people, to try to make the best of out of our lives and to impact people in a positive way. So we are here on the community buzz. I want the people to know that, you know, you can tune in and you can, you know, 876-478-9144, 876-1991. You know, you can reach us on those numbers, you know, link way up. Whatever you have to share that is taking place in your community, or you have any concern that you want to share with the world or share with other people, you know, we are here and willing to accommodate you. You know what I mean? That you can express yourself freely. You know, the greatest thing is that we have a voice, we have a media, we have a grassroots media that represent the people, for the people. So we are here. Boy, so much things are going on in Jamaica. Yeah, I mean, one of the things when I say me, I know it remind me of our national hero, Paul Bogle. That's a serious thing, you know. Paul Bogle in about in the 1850s, going to 1860s, was one of the men who them claims was a free slave. He bought his freedom of one over 500 acres of land in St. Thomas, Tonigot. But he got a rude awakening when he realized that he wasn't really free, because he was under you know, the rule of the same set of people who he claimed that he bought his freedom from. Now we see the same thing going on in Jamaica, you know. And we want some of the people in Jamaica. We want all of the people in Jamaica, not some. We want the people in Jamaica to pay attention seriously. That sometime when you believe say you escape poverty, you're still trapped in them system of slavery, because them have control over your money, them have control over your life. Now there's a set of people who still Jamaica, and if we rise and realize that freedom is not yet, see, we have to come to that realization. You know, I am looking on this thing that is happening right now with somebody who people feel should get the status of a national hero because of, you know, the immense contribution that he has made to this country, you know, and carrying the flag continuously. You understand? And to know that he worked so hard, you know, and people in Jamaica could have fleeced him of his earning. You know, you realize there's something seriously, you know, still in place that need to be eliminated out of the consciousness and the minds of our people. And until we can come to that realization and wake up to face this reality, we are going to find ourselves, you know, in a serious situation. You see, we have some words that we use enough time and we don't even understand the meaning of those words, you know. People mean, mean transfer of power. That is what it means, you know. So when Marcus Garvey said, emancipate your mind from mental slavery, what Marcus Garvey meant is that you must take back your mind, transfer your mind from under mental slavery. Take back your mind from those who are dictated to you, the colonial masters. That was what Marcus Garvey was talking about. Now, people believe, say, 1834 and 1838, black people was free, or we were free from under the colonial system. It wasn't so, it was just transfer of power. And I'm going to show you how the transfer of power take place. Is that the private owners of the enslaved negotiate with the crown government that, guess what, you claim that we must abolish slavery. Well, if slavery is to abolish, you have to pay for your property. So them negotiate, and they negotiated about over that, and what happened? It was 47 million pound. They got 20 million pound up front, and then the other 27 it's about 2015, because them take out a loan from the head of the enslaved, and we have to continue work, and even when the even when the people them go England, they never know say them did a pay for all of that until 2015. So that transfer of power means that the crown still have authority over Jamaica. And if you look seriously on our government structure in Jamaica, you will realize that we are still under the administration of the crown. And until we totally liberate ourselves from under that kind of administration, we are not free. So I'm saying to the people, nobody feel like say because you make some money, you believe say you're free. Because number one, all the banking act set up, that is another system again that entrapped you. You know what I mean? Because the gods them and the oligarchs who rule Jamaica, I go tell you, say you can't keep no money upon you and no fear. You have to carry it come give it, make we put it down for you. And when you carry it come give it, we are going to use it how we want to use it. You don't even know say that them I say to you, but that is how it is. You understand? So it's time for our what it, you know what I mean? If you're not feeling that kind of reality, then you are living in denial. You understand? And we start to feel naked truth. Because truth now wear clothes. Like I never like clothes, you know, but sometimes I have to put it on to get eyes off of me. See? Yes, so who want got the people them over Primal, you know? Enough respect to the Primal Media Group, you know, Joel and Hema and the crew and all who tune in right now. Enough respect. It is warm here in Jamaica, you know. Me say we are, you know, I believe in Minnesota. Me say Kiara I dropped 2 ice over there, you know, the sad situation. So, you know, so we see Julia look sexy in her sleeveless over here, so you know, in front of me, I'm saying, enough people outside. Hi, camera. I want flow still way up, right? Don't drop power today, you understand? Saying so, we are here in the community buzz. And we want the people to understand that, you know, we have some serious work to do. We have work to do, we have to communicate some more, you know. Patrick Beckford have some very interested information that that kind of we never have known so them things they still are going to Jamaica. Me tell you slavery there, you know. Slavery is still here. You understand? And until we really get together, come together, start to reason some more to see how we can get these people off the neck. because these kind of exploitation, no ordinary, we cannot, see something normal. It is not, especially what is happening for people to still to be still working for $5 an hour in Jamaica, Many things, every week you got a supermarket and the market, things just gone up, see, and the people pay no really go up. So how that go work? You know what I mean? So we see all across the world that serious thing, especially in Jamaica, we don't want it to reach us. So make we talk, because communication is very, very important. You know what I mean? Before we go to Patrick Beckford, which will be coming up in maybe in 2 minutes time, I have a piece of music when I want to play, We call it International Criminal. I want to listen to this music from yours truly.
Revolutionary soldiers come beat up the drum. When the people rise up, how with them a go run? Not afraid of you nuclears and big machine gun. Plus kings and queen empire come a tumbling down. International criminals, intellectual criminals, international criminals, intellectual criminals, training their own colonial education. Trained to be in depression.
Yes, international criminal. Train in the old colonial education. Leave the people in depression. You know what I mean? So we have to understand how some of the people them are, because they have what we call a colonial mindset. Those who are being educated by the enslaved is only going to carry out the orders of their masters. Right? Recently, just Thursday gone, we see them have what you call the National Prayer Breakfast. I wonder if a whole heap of people know where it really originated from. That was 41st or 42nd annual prayer breakfast. We studied the history. A term named Dear him. And thing was originated by a Norwegian immigrant named Reed, founder of the National Prayer Breakfast, a national ritual fit by the and politics survives to this day when he arrived in America in 1905, right? And what they were about to make sure that the rich are in control of the labor forces of the workers. And that is how them organize themselves. Let me read something, because I want the people them understand how these people think and see about what they are doing. Eh? Yes, Patrick. We soon come to you because we know you have to observe some of this. Beginning as an itinerant preacher, the normal church, read him to get a revelation from God. To the big man went strength, to the little man went need. Only the big man was capable of mending the world. He developed a ministry not among those who have had the bottom knocked out of life, its derelicts, its failure, but ultimately among those who even more in need, who live dangerously in hype. He finds that for nearly 2,000 years, Christianity has catered to weak, sinful minds, and it had done very little good. Thus, he became an exponent of a religion well suited to the elite industrialists of the era. From his basing with his message of self-satisfied simplicity, his words gained the allegiance of industrialists, senators, ambassadors, generals all over the country. He told his new elite followers that God wanted them to break the system of organized labor. That's exactly what they did. Breaking the spine of organized labor. I believe this is a good point that we can have Mr. Patrick Beckford on now. How are you doing, Mr. Beckford? Are you good afternoon, sir?
Good afternoon. From rainy. Good afternoon. From rainy New Jersey. It's been raining.
Rainy New Jersey.
It's been raining since yesterday.
Well, stay dry, my brother. Stay dry. You know,
I love it
make sure
I collect,
that
I love it because I catch the rainwater from my indoor plants.
the rainwater is safe.
Yes.
Where you want to do the water your plants
Yes.
are. Okay, that's great. Yes, So, how you do otherwise from the rain? What is happening in yours
I
and
am
yours?
blessed,
Advice from the rain.
I am blessed, and as I gather from your last statement about I wanted to quote where the people
Yeah.
that I quote from Micah 6 verse that I quote from Micah verse 8 in the Bible. It says, "What does the Lord require of us?" It says, "What does the Lord require of us? A kindly justice and walk humbly with God."
Yeah.
And walk humbly with God. So,
See.
as you and I have been talking before the show, one of my main concerns, visiting Jamaica, been visiting Jamaica number of times last year and staying in hotels. Anyone knows me know that if I go somewhere and I see people, know that I have to know who I'm around. And if I go even the person's sweeping them around or anything, I like to interact with them. Sweeping the floors, I like to know their stories. I like to interact with them. because I like to know their stories. In going to the hotels, in going to the hotels, I discovered something in Jamaica. I discovered something irritating to me to say, to be very charitable to me to say, to be very charitable to what I walk. So the issue that I have is the way the hotel workers. Issue that I have is, and it was highlighted by a Facebook posting by a young man who was fired immediately because he was interacted in the guest, and it resurfaces that thought process. I have contacted a number of hotel workers, hotel workers, names and emails and all that stuff, and just trying to follow up on emails and all that stuff, and just trying to follow up. I discovered that the workers in Jamaica, have represented what we think that we have represented, what we think that we have eliminated, which is that was previously. Or existence of workers, or existence of workers who were or for parents, so to speak. And let me elaborate what I mean by plantocracy. And because here's what happens in a typical hotel industry. Here's what happens in a typical hotel workers. People don't realize. Are working on most hotel workers, if people don't, from a minimum of 3, are working on contracts. From a minimum of 3, get medical benefits for themselves only. So if medical benefits for themselves only. Don't care if you have about your child. Your job don't get sick one bit of money your child. If you have to go take them to the doctor, you don't. And if you have to go take them to the doctor, you don't get. You don't get sick leave or time off. How do we have a country? Where my history guides me, that the political system was created, the political system on the back was created of the labor unrest between 1936 when the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party later were formed. How do we have a system in Jamaica? How do we have a system in Jamaica where the majority of the people point my fingers on the leadership. And I point my fingers on the leadership, the government of Jamaica, has sat back and watch this atrocity, and watch this atrocity day after day. Continues day after day. Let me give you an example. Just last week, I read an example. Just last week, I read where the Minister of Tourism billion US dollars, billion. In other words, 750. In other words, 700 billion or $3/4 trillion billion or $3/4 trillion. Yet underneath it says we'll be. Yet underneath it says less than 20% of that will be less than 20%. And I dare say it's less. Doing the research, it's less because doing the research, 2 cents to the dollar. We only get maybe 2 cents to the dollar of the dollars that are made in Jamaica. Here's some example, as I showed. Here's some example, as I showed. An average worker who works in Jamaica makes only less than $5 an hour. Less than $5 an hour. A waitress that I spoke to up to last night. For 80 hours made only $15,000. Only $15,000 for 8 hours. That's less than the minimum. That's less than the minimum wage. Here's what the young lady said to me.
15,000. Hold on. For 8 hours.
For 80 hours, $15,000 for 80 hours. 80 hours. $7 for 80 hours.
80 or 8?
80 hours. So she'll get paid, or so she'll get paid, or fortnightly pay is $15,000. So
Wow.
you work, do the
15,000
math. So you
Jamaica,
work, do
and
the
that
math.
is Jamaican dollars. See?
That is Jamaican dollars. I'm talking about. That is Jamaican dollars.
Yeah, you have to make the people
I just spoke to the
understand.
person last night. I can't even scroll the person with that. Okay, because I do my research before. Okay, because I do my research before I answer. So that worker, I pay an average of $500 a day for transportation back and forth. So you do the maths, they probably take home maybe $1,000 to $1,000 or $2,000 after the thing, but they got to work. If that worker gets sick, or the child of that worker gets sick, it's the taxpayers of Jamaica. If that child bill, these guys are making billions
A while ago,
of dollars.
Mr. Beckford, Mr.
Yes, guys are making.
You're freezing
Go ahead,
up.
Amanda.
Yes,
Go ahead, Amanda.
I'm saying, repeat what you said before. Just after you spoke about the 15,000 fortnightly, we kind of lose you a while ago, right after that. So can you repeat what you said there?
No, what I was saying on that aspect is that worker becomes ill. She does not have the money. She does not have the money. The family does not have the money to pay for the medical bill. But the child goes to the hospital. Pay for the medical bill. But the child goes to the hospital. Jamaican people. Who pays for it? Your tax dollars go to that way. And these, it's like we're living in it's like we're living in Henry Morgan was plundering of West Henry Morgan was plundering of West They're plundering Jamaica. It's a reverse. They're plundering, and every time I see it, it angers me. And every folks come and I see it angers me. Once these folks 700 bedroom build these monstrosities, 700 bedroom without concern for the environment, without concern for the environment. And where does this money go? And here's another part. Where does this money go? Here's another part I'm worried. Like the other day, one your TF chairman berating the parents for sending their children to school to become accountants and children and lawyers, to school to become accountants and doctors and lawyers. If you go do a survey in all of these hotels in Jamaica, if you go do a survey in all of these hotels, there's no local who are in management. There's no local. It's all expatriates in management, even down to entertainment managers in management, even down to entertainment managers of hotels that are mostly Spanish people. And I look at the entertainment quality, Spanish people. I've just checked around, and I look at the entertainment quality. I've just checked around. Am I Jamaica where I was born? Or somewhere. So my Jamaica where I was born. These are the plantocracy that we see. These are the plantocracy that we see, and our minister of labor, and our minister, our minister, our minister, our prime minister. The trade unions in Jamaica, and labor, the trade unions in Jamaica, of our brothers and sisters being treated that way. So it
Mr. Beckford.
Yes, so it irates me.
Yeah, it can irate us in so many ways, right? I understand where you're coming from with that. But what I am looking at, right, because I worked in the hotel industry for a short period of time in the 1995. And the things that you're talking about here, that was the thing that why I left. You know, I couldn't stay in that kind of environment because of the kind of individual that I am, you know, where you can't, even when you perform as a performer, when you perform and somebody come up to you to even congratulate you, it's like a hide. But and coordinators are telling you that you cannot interact with the guest. You know what I mean? And before the 90s, as a member of the Jamaica Federation of Musicians, right, that was fighting all the time for, a better working condition in the hotels for, musicians. And even up till now, that is happening. Just recently, I spoke to the newly elected president, right, and the same condition and situation. So it is not a new thing. What I'm saying is that how much our people who are educating themselves to go and work in that industry, what kind of search them put in place to understand that they are going into an industry that is going to treat them this way? What responsibility them are take for them life? Rather than me and you there talk about it and say we irate about it. What are they doing? Our people. There's this brethren who say, hold on, but before I go any further, let me just finish this. There's this brother statement that slavery is a choice of people. You know what I mean? Criticize him and come down heavily on him. Well, I hope people get some clarity of what he meant, right? Because it's exactly that. When you live in a time and age like this and know say you are going to pay literally every day you're going to spend over $500, right, to work. And I never talk about lunch yet, and 2 weeks you get 50. All that makes sense. Continue to feel it. How that makes sense? So what I am saying, Mr. Beckford, the workers working under this kind of condition, if they not wake up and do something with them life, you and I talking here cannot change the situation. And that we have to look at, because people have to meant on the people who claim that they are investors here realize that the power is within our hands, not in their hands. You need our labor. So we, the people, must demand. We should not allow nobody to tell us what we're worth and tell us how much they are going to pay us. And continue, sir. In that few words.
Yes, that. One of the points. One of the points. Let me research. Yes, that. One of the points. I realized that in the research I realized that at the hotels, people are basically high school. Hotels are basically high school, grade school for 6 weeks or 8 weeks to learn waitressing, graduate, and all that stuff. So here's where I point the finger. Leadership is important. I tell you something on the side. That last year the cruise ship, Royal Caribbean ship was coming to Jamaica to get. When I heard about it because of my connection, I started. When I heard about it because of my connection, I started to inquire within the Ceylon area. They don't know about it. If anyone further investigate, no, they don't know. You know what happened? I further investigate. You know what happened? Because the hotel industry in Jamaica was complaining that Royal Caribbean the North Coast where the hotels are. The North Coast where the hotels are. The workers are going to lose. The workers are going to lose. And the government side with them. And the government side with them. And they took Royal Caribbean, which is not the tourism or service. It is not the tourism or service. Politicians were given tickets. And politicians were given tickets to go give the job on the ship. That didn't work because that's another story. But I think the problem, just like the workers in Trelawney, but I think the problem, just like the workers in Trelawney, where the pier organized in 1930, where the pier is now, and at the first industrial action in Jamaica, so that parlayed into the 1938, and so after that parlayed in the 1938 we need leaders. Industrial action. We need, we need leaders. Micah. We need, because, a lot of the church people might have what it must be. Because a lot of the church people might have what it must be. Barn and command earth and but you can't preach to somebody who's belly have nice over them. Preach to somebody who's belly have and over them. Over them. Preachers have to realize that we have to see what preachers have to realize is that we have to see what is happening against, so that they can really get them lined up and organize the folks. Because we can't have this lined up and organized. Parents didn't know better because they were brought over here in shackles. Our government is shackling our potential for people to lift themselves and the community. Instead of trying to go and be brothers and sisters. Everything is interconnected. Because it's not only, it's another industry. There's another industry. It's called the BPOs. It's called the BPOs. People do outside there make calls, take out the credit cards, and this is where the scamming credit cards, and this is where the scamming them enough. Let me tell you one story. Let me tell you one story. When I was it stuck in my head. It stuck in my head. There was a young man who was charged for fraud and theft as a servant from a big supermarket and wholesale in Falmouth. The late W. Thompson was his attorney. His defense is that you put in charge of thousands of dollars every day, and yet to pay him only pennies. What are you saying to this guy? See all this money you're going to want to go out and do something. You're tempting the person to take. And this is what is happening. With the tourism. Even these guys, if you have a super bus, and any one of these hotels you want to park to get a tourist to take, you have to pay the hotel money to do that. So that means if you make $20, you have to give him $5 for not doing anything. You have to buy the gas a little bit nice and everything.
Yes.
In Jamaica, the Jamaica that was built in Jamaica.
Mr. Beckford, I just want to interject a little. You kind of break up. I just want to inform the people out there who are listening to call in 876-478-914, 876-317-1991, and that's on WhatsApp, so you can call on WhatsApp, and the people online, we are awaiting, that you communicate. Just communicate with us to let us know if you are hearing clearly, and I just want to know that, because we don't want to know that, we are not coming to as clear as we should. So I want to know that. So go ahead, Mr. Beckford, and let us continue.
Here's another point that I question with some of the workers that I have contact. Here's what one worker said. There's a particular hotel that in Trelawney regularly have spills, and the workers have to clean it up. The workers have to clean it up. They never check back if there's any health issues. This is something that is right in my backyard. Even though I don't live there, it's in my backyard. And therefore there's potential for health concerns later. So what is needed? And I brought this issue up, because it's going to be an explosion, either by the workers or by the later, where people getting all sorts of illness coming through. All of this is coming back because when these people when they decided they would like our politics, these same people run away and leave God we had a lead at that point. Thank God we had a lead at that point. In my opinion, we have the police. We have the police. Let's utilize it. That is when we start. Okay. You see. So what happened is that. We the people need to start to with the hotel workers, talk to our neighbors, because it says number 2 commandments, that Jesus love God and love neighbors. We're not doing that. And that is why for me, I'm so passionate about because I still consider as my neighbor. So we need a rising people who are walking around and seeing folks around them.
Mr. Beckford, I understand your passion, and we are all passionate. But you being passionate, I being passionate, and the people who are suffering this kind of indignity continue to subject themselves to this kind of indignity. How will that help the kind of passion that you and I have? Because if something happening to us, and we not do nothing for change it, it will continue. And that is what I am concerned about. I'm more concerned about the people who are suffering this kind of indignity and continue to give them service to these oppressors for nothing. You understand? So I am repeating it, that it's a choice that they made. Slavery is a choice, and the people have to come to that understanding. So you and I could talk and advocate. You see, I did something recently about the trade union movement in Jamaica. And one of the things where people are talking about the trade union movement started with, is one of the movement that start violence in Jamaica. But we understand, because people don't understand that oppression is violence, is a psychological violence. When the oppressor oppress you, it is violent. It's a way of expressing their kind of violence on us. You know what I mean? So in order for us to truly remove them off our back, it has to be a kind of a retaliation. Whether we accept it, yes or no, that is how it is. The retaliation must be physical, It can be a way where you decide say you're not going to work for them. That's another form. That's a form of retaliation. Some people call it passive resistance or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to take up stick or stone or say I go burn down them place. You just know that you're going to give your service to the people who not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated. So how we are going to reach those people who continue to subject themselves, right, to this kind of treatment? How we are going to reach them? Because I believe 98% of them don't even want to listen to me here right now. Maybe the independent cell phone, I look on a wine up or them I look on something and a kind of pain. You over there? So how we are the independent tick and attack? What hell them I got you? Because some of these people, when you observe some of these people who work in the BPOs and them thing there, them constantly on them phone. And I'm certain that they are not communicating with each other and talking about the condition that they are suffering. Right? So we have to look serious how our young people are communicating. You just talk about the BPOs, and one of the things that I observe in the BPOs, you see, and working from home, it's a way to disorganize us, because, as I said to you, 10,000 people cannot work for a single company, but those 10,000 people don't know each other, and they must suffer the same indignity. There was a time that say for instance 2,000 people were working in a particular location. Them could have organized themselves and say, no, we not come and work a morning. But what these people do, them sit down and them study and say, all right, we are going to make sure, say. So them come up with a thing called COVID. And then come up with a term called social distance. And them say, keep them social distance. Right? And the people, them stay so. And all now we can realize that is a trick. And now them a try this, It has been happening from way back in the 1800s, the tactics of what we call name divide and rule. We want to shout out to some people, because we don't want it to look like we just attack and I want to shout out to Mr. David, listening from Florida, a new radio station over there in Auckland, Salam Radio. We want to big you up, sir. Last week you say you're tuning in the entire program, so we want to big up all of you, all the people tuning in to the community buzz. Yeah, 96.7 www.fitfmja.com and all the people over Primal www.primal4k.com. See, we give thanks for all the people who tune in and log into the community buzz. We feel like we take a little break and come forward to Mr. Beckford. We want to play International Criminal. To the piece of Junior, Imara, International Criminal.
International criminals, intellectual criminals, international criminals, intellectual criminals, trading the old colonial education. Train to oppress the people in depression. Highly connected, even though they are country done it. Robbing the state, only end up in public debate. Congregate and create, sucking the people like vermins and plague. Eating caviar, drink on international criminals, intellectual criminals, international criminals, intellectual criminals, trading your old colonial education. Trade for people in the nation, keep opposing each other, yet having the same desire to kill and steal, spinning the people around like wheel, murder, justice, the people squeal, hungry belly baby can't find a proper meal. Who can hear?
Who can hear? I go feel that way I say. So if you are suffering any kind of indignity and you don't have the courage to lift yourself out of it, well, it's, as we say, drunk me and your supper. If you're not ready to elevate yourself from the kind of condition that you find yourself in, and we need a kind of that our people, our younger people, especially, come to the realization and know what they're worth. You have to know what you're worth. Allow nobody to decide that for you. So we're talking to Mr. Patrick Beckford, who is a well passionate kind that our people going through, a Trelawney, barn and bread, and we give thanks that he's here. So go ahead, Mr. Beckford. We have maybe about 10 minutes to wrap up.
Let me follow. You threw it on the workers, and I agree with you. Threw it on the workers, And I agree with you. The issue with we're isolated as a community. We're isolated as a community. We talk about the as and I was talking the other day. We talk about the boys going up in Marble. It taught us how to interact.
Yeah.
It taught us how to negotiate. It taught us how to negotiate. Take out with knife. And so we have a shift in the Jamaican. And so we have a shift in the Jamaican really affecting us in every way. That is really affecting us in every way. And let me say this. And while I agree with you on the workers, while I agree with you on the workers, and sanctified as an individual, as an individual, ministers or ministers or whoever just would negotiate contracts with these folks who want to utilize our own citizens, in our countries, and yet they didn't say, okay, you can't less than the standard ILO minimum wage. Less than the standard ILO minimum wage. Come in and appoint all the managers from your little. You have to do a set aside. We practice a set aside in the USA. We practice everything in the USA. A percentage of women, a percentage of gay, percentage of women, percent of blacks, percentage of minorities in position. Percentage of minorities in position in Jamaica. This is what we need to see. We don't practice that in Jamaica. This is what we need to see that you're going to work in Jamaica. We have to say to them, these are the conditions how you're going to work in Jamaica. You have to hire people and living wage, not minimum wage. You have to hire living wage. That's you and I, Amara, don't sit and negotiate with those people. You and I, Amara, don't sit and negotiate with whatever minister, leader, so whatever minister, and leader of so and so. Do all really think about the day-to-day, really think about the folks, the day-to-day condition of the folks. I'm sure you, as a musician, you can't. I'm sure you somebody from the Dominican Republic can run somebody from entertainment system in Jamaica. You will never get that job. Can run in India or in Mexico or in the USA or in Mexico or in the USA, and it's to do entertainment, so to speak, unless you really concentrate in the USA and Caribbean, really concentrate in the Caribbean. So
if you can stay steady, Mr. Beckford, Mr. Beckford, if you can stay steady,
I won't even go into the whole idea of.
Yes, stay still a little and stop move around to see if we can get a step.
Okay, I'm good. Is a preaching part.
Well, again, you're.
But what I'm just saying, Ivara, is that in truth and in fact,
we need
a revolution. Ivara, is that in truth and in fact, and the revolution has to come from the negotiation and how we put our hotels. And the revolution comes from the negotiation and how we put our hotels. I won't even talk about that big hotel where they start to think that is the crater of the where they start to wall off the beach where the hotels are. Crater of the and wall off the beach where the hotels are. I was in Grenada last year. Okay, and I was in Grenada last year. Grenada, okay, and I give you a sympathy. We called Grenada small. The government lost. Every prime minister and the government lost every seat, and this is where it comes to the people of Jamaica. We have power when to the people of Jamaica. We have power when we. I was driving by a facility. And it says Silver Sands. And I said, "Oh my God, Silver Sands!" And I said, "Oh my God, Silver Sands from in Jamaica." And he said, "Oh," he said, "Master," and he said, "Oh, Master, that would never be, a goal because." What they decided to do, we decided to lock it down until what they decided to do because they decided they're going to put wall until the government they're down because they decided they're going to put wall. And he said, we told the government in Grenada locals. And he said, we told the government in Grenada. We don't sell beach. We only sell how many beaches we don't sell for Jamaicans right now? How many beaches are available for Jamaicans right now? Port of Seca here, it's no longer.
But when I check it,
here it's no longer
Mr. Beckford, when I check it, it's no different in Grenada and Jamaica, you know. Because why you want to sell the land? Why you want to sell land? You know? You see, Marcus Garvey said, without commerce, who control the industry? It is the same thing for the past 600 years or 500 years. The thing is just modified, you know, Mr. Beckford. The thing is just modified. Slave to colonialism, to capitalism is just modification. And our people get the kind of education. You think you can look? I am not looking towards no government ministers who are servants of these oligarchs. They're getting their pay, they are working for their salary as well. And that's why they are behaving the way that they are behaving. Until them come to an understanding, if them come to that, because they are colonially trained, they have a colonial mindset. They have been trained by the system to perform the way how they are performing. You can't ask them to look out for the interests of others while they were trained to become selfish. It will not work until our people come to the understanding that we are at a point to look out for ourselves and stop look to others, to see illusionary saviorism have we in the situation that we are in, you know, because we are fearful or get up and stand up for ourselves, and then we blame others for treating us the way they are treating us. I am saying slavery is, I'm quoting the West, and I agree 100% with him that slavery is a choice. Jamaica,
we have a lot of house Negroes too, you know.
There's a group of people in Jamaica.
We have a lot of house Negroes too, you know.
They're not same, it's the same choice they make to be a house Negro. So when I said slavery, it no matter the state you are still a slave. Whether you're in the house, you're in the field, or you're sitting in parliament as the slave of the crown, you're still a slave. Because those who are in parliament, right, slave to the crown. And that's why in the way functioning, because they are taking instruction or orders from a higher authority. So what is needed, Mr. Beckford? A new kind of thing. What is needed among education, because the education is not working. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think the people has to
go ahead.
And I think the people has to take these house Negroes to be very charitable. These house, as you said, I agree with Negroes to be very. We have them all over. As you said, I agree with totally. We have them all over. It was highlighted because the Facebook. It was highlighted the posting with the young man terminated for interacting. Posting with the young man being terminated for interacting. You could see others behind him who knew what he was saying was correct. You could see others behind him who knew what he was saying was correct. Or tried to put him off, get him off of the company. Or tried to put him off, get him off of the company. And they know what he was saying is right. I knew it. And they know what he was saying is right. I knew it because.
Yeah. Mr. Beckford, we are going to wrap it up here. You know, we give thanks that you it is that we, in 2023, when they are moving into what they call the fourth industrial revolution, that we are still under colonial education system with a colonial mindset, that, keep our people in the condition they are in. And about it, the sad thing about it, a lot of us still sending our children in these institutions to become educated, to carry on the same thing that has been affecting us from generation to generation to generation to generation continuously. How are we going to break this cycle? Say, going to a new end of justice with Simone Maddox, coming up. So, Mr. Beckford, we give thanks, and I appreciate you coming here, and we want to have you many more time, and we're going to talk on other issues,
Let me just say this to the people listening.
Yes.
Let me just say this to the people listening. I want you guys to support Radio FM, because this is a thing that we make, because this is a community thing. And as you go forward, think about what I said. And as you go forward, think about what I said. We need to call these hotels and say, I would like to call these hotels and say, I would like to stay there, but if you used to go there, is it local staff used to go there? Is it local staff support our brothers and sisters? And then we get to the politician and say, when are you going to bring it up in parliament? And then we get to the politician and say, when are you going to bring it up in parliament? Your council aren't.
Tell me something. You have any interest in representation politics? Because look,
no, you see, I spoke.
Take up that role, now.
You see, I spoke.
We can't ask them that. We don't talk about spoken parliament. I'm asking you if you have interest to become a political leader or a political representative. Have that interest, sir?
I am leading the flag. I'm leading the flag, right? Not only for the spiritual part, but if you look at my church, you see what we do. We're actively involved. If you look at what we do, we're actively involved in people.
Okay.
So I represent people at all times.
So your theocracy government.
I represent people at all times.
It is a theocracy government you have right at the church.
No. If you look at my church and look at the things if you look at my church and look at the things that we're it's people centered.
Why are you afraid of the word government? It's governance. If you have a it's governance. If you have a flock that you are leading and things are working well with that flock that you are leading, then it's governance. And I believe people. That's why I say, like you have a government.
Yeah, I will serve Jamaica in any capacity that I can. I will serve Jamaica in any capacity.
And you are serving. You are serving. Yeah, we are.
And a volunteer.
All right, sir. We thank you very much, and we are going to.
We're
going to take
up to Julie and the staff.
She's a blessing.
Yeah.
All right. More international criminal. Good.
International criminal. Criminals, intellectual criminals, trading the old colonial education, trained to oppress the people in depression. They are highly connected, even though they are country than it, robbing the state, only end up in public debate. Vermins and plague, eating caviar, drinking champagne, working class people in perpetual pain. International criminals, intellectual criminals, international criminals, intellectual
96.7.
96.7.
Duncan Streloni.
Duncan Streloni.
Me say, who could begin? Who could begin? It's not the Rasta man, so it must be Babylon. Who could begin? Who could begin? It's not the Rasta man, so it must be Babylon. Somebody play the wrong domino and cause the world to follow. Someone is feeling their songs in a compulsory black. Who could begin? Who could begin? It's not the Rasta man, so it must be Babylon. Why you play? Now we catch you off guard. Rasta man wanna shuffle, but looking for nothing to suffer now. Rasta man shuffle, but looking for nothing to know why you go take it. Now me say speak and it's what is there. Now me say 1, 2, you want me to you. You hide the things you do, but still the wrong things you do. 3, 4, now this is the score. Get up off of your week and not do it no more.
Yes, who called the game? Yes, a new rendition of Rita by our sister Nana EQ. Bad. Who called the game? Another Naughty Dread. You know, another Rasta man who called the game. It must be Simone. I know you called the game.
That is
Welcome
left to be
to Community
determined.
Buzz, Simone
That
Maddox.
is left to be determined.
Is you called the game?
Some forgiveness in our mind.
Yes, people.
Forgiveness in our mind. And I hope
Eh?
forgiveness. Say confession is good for the soul, eh?
Go-
Say confession is good for the soul.
Oh, true. Yes, people. We have on, Simone Maddox, former judge, attorney, Ancizer of Anchorage, the mother of Anchorage, a new kind of justice. So we are going to hear what we have to share with the listeners today about this new kind of justice, to see what she's looking at and what has to share with us all. How are you doing, Simone? How are you far?
I am doing well, and I'm starting by saying that
I am doing
when you
well,
give a
and I'm
newborn
starting
baby
by
technology
saying
to
that
deal with,
when you give a
you're gonna
newborn
have
baby
big
technology
to deal with, you're gonna have big shoes. Don't forget my late appearance. Don't forget my late appearance today and the technical difficulties I'm having.
So what's up? What you have to share with the listeners today about Anchorage? What is on the table today?
Well,
What you have to share?
On the last occasion, on the last occasion, we had a number of key points about including concept of ownership, and that is within the framework of community. And so the latest development, that we watch with interest, something that I'm speaking of is the court ruling, providing injunctive relief, for the applicants who have serious issues with mining the country. But I'm getting a little bit of feedback. I don't know if that could be adjusted.
Disturbing you?
Any be adjusted any.
We are hearing you clearly. Just speak if if you can ignore the feedback. We are
I will certainly try.
All right. Our apology for that here.
Yes, we're all in this together. So we are looking at the cockpit country.
Okay, Judge, make sure your headphones, make sure your speaker isn't on. All right, make sure your speaker isn't on, and just monitor things through your headphones. Because we're not getting the feedback here in studio, but on Facebook that might happen. All right, so go ahead.
Oh, you mute yourself now. You mute yourself.
Unmute. Okay, go ahead now.
Yes, I was speaking of the cockpit
Okay, go ahead.
country. I was speaking of the cockpit country.
Yeah.
And that is an area in Trelawney, St. Elizabeth, Trelawney, St. Elizabeth, St. James, St. Anne, and Manchester, as well as the northern tip of Clarendon,
Sure.
And these lands, or this land, and these lands, steep-sided hollows, is marked by steep-sided hollows, conical hills, and ridges. And it is captured in the history, of course, that some of whom had escaped from plantations, some of whom claimed to have been in Jamaica before colonial times.
True.
Use this difficult territory, use this difficult for its natural defenses to develop communities outside of the control of Spanish and British rule.
True.
So without details of the full brief that was taken to court, we can still make some general commentary. That redress was an opportunity. Was being sought by the applicants to have the mining operations Norada partners, Norada bauxite partners to suspend their operations until the constitutional questions and the rights of the claimants have been ventilated. And that order was made.
Yeah. Can you explain what injunctive relief mean,
What it means, because
that the ordinary man can understand.
Because we're talking about I welcome that. It's about use in plain language.
Yes.
So that everyone can understand.
Yeah.
Representatives of the Maroon community, cockpit country of the Maroon community, took a case to court. They took a matter took a case to court. They took a matter to the Supreme Court. And so one of their applications would have been to have all the mining operations, to have all the to be put on hold until their growths, until contentions, their questions have been addressed. So everything put on pause. So everything put on pause, except for operations that have to do with restoring areas that have already been mined.
Okay.
So the company that's doing the mining, they would be doing some exploratory activities.
Okay.
And that would be with a view to doing greater mining operations.
Wow.
So the court has said everything must be on pause until these applicants that represent the Maroon community, I don't know if there are other claimants, but they are saying, the court is saying on pause, until they get a chance to go before the Constitutional Court.
Okay.
Because they are saying that fundamental rights and freedoms, some of those rights and freedoms will be violated or are being violated by the whole mining scenario. So basically, that is it. The ruling, that is what the injunction.
You have a chance.
The ruling, that is what the injunctive.
Do you have a chance to look on the treaty that the Maroons signed with the British? Because the contention that I believe the Maroon is having is that these territory or lands, if we want to call it that, are solely theirs, and no form of mining should take place in those territory without their authority.
And that is one of the content. Yes, ownership.
The question of ownership.
Yes, that is one of those substantive issues have yet determined.
Okay.
The court has gone so far is say halt to what is going on. The mining must stop except for.
Okay, so mining continues still, except you use the word except.
Yes, except for what is called reclamation. And that is the process that takes place when any area is mined for any reason. You have to rehabilitate, control the disturbance that was made on that land.
Okay.
And the process is called reclamation.
Process is called reclamation. In whose interest the reclamation process? Yeah.
The term is actually a technical term.
Yeah. So the technicality we want to sort out.
Let me see if I can shed a little light. In 2004, the regulations to the Mining Act were adjusted to encourage timely restoration of mined-out bauxite lands. And so by virtue of these regulations, whoever is doing mining of that nature, they would have to give a time frame for the reclamation or restoration exercise, which must be complete with regulation. So they get up to 2 years. Do this completed reclamation, and if they don't do it, then they have to pay a penalty. And it says here $25 per hectare.
What I want to find out, if the maroon, if this territory is solely for the maroon and mining is taking place in those territory, who really can make that kind of put regulation in place without the owners of those territories? So this is what I'm looking on. It's like the government passed these regulation, right? Or the adjustment to the regulation.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you clearly.
You're not hearing me.
Oh. You can go to line. You can delay and then now you're chipping out.
Oh. You want to stay there? You hear me now? You hearing me?
I'm hearing you a little better now.
All right, make we go again. So I'm asking that the government put in place these adjustments, right? Did that happen in the presence of the owners of the territory, which is the maroon?
I'm hearing a part of what you say about owners of territory, but I didn't hear the rest.
I'm saying because the Mining Act, the regulation.
I'm not hearing.
You're not here. Me no know. Me could play a piece of me and come forward and. All right, yes. I need to hear you too. I want you to hear me too. So me could play some music and come back, take a break.
The strength of a woman, black and beautiful. Ooh, I'm strong enough to get by on my own. Yes, I'm a black, beautiful as ever, conscious, cute and clever. An educated woman, use me and still in real life. I still need a king to hold up the thing and build up the family structure. Not because you know I'm strong, nobody gets it wrong. Most women, if not, I need male companion to help the girls along and teach a boy to be a man. Role model setting up a solid foundation. I'm not looking for the perfect man, just someone who will want to sing the same song. If I put out 20, at least put out 10 and make we build and watch it grow from now till then. I'm a strong woman, strong enough to get by on my own. Yes, I'm a black woman, beautiful as ever, cute and clever. An educated woman, no boy can fool me, none of them can use me. And still, in a real life, I still need a king to hold up the thing and build up the family structure. So if you are gonna step to me proper. No bother with it and that thing, no dapper. A simple conversation, we take out your meds. Investigate you properly and act like the feds. No me not style, ya just so the thing set.
Yes. That was Magana, a strong woman, you know, and we have online a strong woman. It's a Mama Dix, you know. I mean, yes. So I was asking the question: the Regulatory Act adjustment, right, that happened in Parliament. I'm asking if the Maroons were a part of that, or it's just the government, making those adjustments by themselves without the involvement of the owners of the property, or the owner of the property.
That I cannot say unless they were represented in the capacity as Jamaicans. So that would be more like dual citizenship in Maroon understanding. And if that is so, only the Maroon hierarchy or leadership could speak to that. However, it would be interesting to know if when those regulations in 2004, if there was any contemplation that they would at any time apply to the cockpit country. That is not known at this time, or I certainly don't know that the answer to that at this time.
Okay, it was just a general regulatory adjustment pertaining to mining.
Pursuant to the Mining Act, coming out of the Mining Act.
Okay. All these acts.
So all these things may come out eventually.
In laws,
all these questions may come out when the issues are being examined.
Yeah.
So right now everything is at it's like you'd say the legal proceedings, the court proceedings are in the first stage.
Yes.
So the first stage is to have the two sides come in, one side saying our rights are being violated, the other side may be saying we have services and legal authority mining in the area, and the claims and the contention would be outlined, and then the court would be asked to grant certain relief.
Yes.
And it has granted the main, well, I can't say the main one, but it has certainly granted an important one, a significant relief, which is to put the mining on hold.
Okay.
But it must also be seen in the context that some amount of mining activity will still continue, that is called reclamation.
Yeah. The legal term we use, act. Can you break down that people can understand when you say?
That is basically the law that is written down, and it is made official, and it is in them acts to the main. So the Mining Act of X date of Parliament. So you might have Mining Act of 2004 of Parliament.
Yeah.
But the short name we just say the Mining Act, and then you have regulations to the Act, which would be like the manual to say how you apply the different provisions or clauses in the law.
Wow.
And the regulations can change from time to time. The Act can also change from time to time, but it's usually easier to make changes to the regulations.
Can when somebody, like in Parliament, they pass like this particular scenario with the Maroon, I'm just looking that
yes,
you the parliamentarian passed this act without the participation of the Maroons, right? How?
That is not entirely correct,
No,
Amara.
no, I'm
People
asking. I'm
are
just saying, in case. I'm not sure of it, so I'm not saying it is. I'm just asking. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I could explain that the process allows the public to participate. The process allows different groups to participate. Sometimes a group might decide that they are not going to raise any objections, or they are not going to participate. Sometimes they may participate, and sometimes no one actually could have imagined that certain changes would happen that would make certain laws or certain provisions a problem, or would even make certain laws or certain provisions necessary.
Okay.
So that is where regulations come in now. Regulations help the parliament, help the country to make adjustments in a quicker time that may not have even been contemplated then.
So what you're saying to me, what you're saying, you see, just to clarify, that we as the ordinary citizens, there's a process, that whenever any changes is about to take place in Parliament, there's a process that the ordinary man or the ordinary citizen can participate in. Yeah.
Yes, and I would quote this lady named Margaret Mead, who was a anthropologist, and she said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can change the world.
Yes.
Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has.
Sure.
So that is just to emphasize the point that all of us can participate in this kind of process, and this kind of case would be what you would call a public interest case.
Yeah.
Because the environment belongs to all of us, even the area that is covered by the cockpit country. You see how many parishes it touches and concerns, and what that means, the preservation of the cockpit country or the degradation of it can impact hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans and Jamaica.
Yeah.
It can affect the water supply, it can affect the hydration of the soil, because many people perhaps don't realize that the bauxite soil is soil that is filled with a lot of moisture.
Yes.
And it has to go through a process of drying to eliminate the moisture from it. And it's a resource that the country has.
Yes.
So bauxite is a resource, but it is also part of a larger ecosystem. Our rainforest, the cockpit country, you could call it part of our rainforest.
Yes.
So as Jamaicans, we need to decide what we give priority to, whether it's to preserve the rainforest and to protect that ecosystem, or to mine it out and to expose our water supply and our overall ability to enjoy and preserve those lands.
Yeah.
And there are so many aspects to this, and we don't even get to the fundamental issue about ownership of those lands yet.
Yes.
But for people to appreciate the environmental aspect of it, it is definitely a public interest case.
Yeah.
Because it touches and concerns so many of our resources, our people, and our heritage. So it's an issue about our environmental heritage.
Yes. For the people who are listening, this is a public interest case. So it's not about the Maroon, as Simone Maddox saying right here. It's not just, it's much more than the Maroon, as she just explained how much parishes this kind of thing is affecting right now. So I am asking.
That's not to take away from the Maroon, the concentrated Maroon claims.
No.
Because I can't speak to any of that, and I wouldn't be so bold as to do so.
Yes.
But it's a big deal, as a young man's love.
Christopher Martin,
did a song some time ago. Yes,
big deal.
Yes, it's a really big deal.
Yeah. So I'm saying to the people, participate in the program. Those of you who are listening or who are a part of any of the parish that might are in the very soon affected by the mining that is taking place. So you can call in now. You can call in at 8. St.
Anne, Trelawney, St. Elizabeth,
Manchester,
and
Clarendon.
Which other one?
Clarendon.
Yes, Clarendon.
Yeah. So you can wherever you are, if you are in St. Anne's, if you are in St. James or Trelawney, you can call in 876-478-9144, 876-317-1991, right? And those are WhatsApp lines, so it not gonna cost you anything to call in. Just like some of the process that you can participate in, and it not really gonna cost you not more little time, which a lot of giving to ourselves, you know what I mean? And we need to give some time to ourselves, because giving time to ourselves is also giving time to our neighbors, to our community, because these things are affecting us, and they are affecting us immensely. And until those of us maybe over our 50s and ago, and I say we're soon gone, but we have children left here, and we need. Or we can
that is true.
Or can we sensitize and educate our children about the importance of these things, rather than sit down and look on them cell phone every day or sit down in front of them TV? How important these issues are, that they can pay attention and know that they need to open up their mouth and speak on these issues, or participate in the process, that we don't allow outside forces to come and just destroy our ecosystem.
And for us to do that, we have to have an understanding of what is going on. And in doing my research, I came across a very interesting article. I wasn't able to reach out to the author of it, but perhaps you could make some connection. This is an article was written by a Dr. Susan Koenig, and she's right there in Trelawney. She's the head, I believe, of the Windsor Research Center. And she did a very deep study on that relates to the environmental impact of bauxite mining on limestone ecosystems in Jamaica.
Wow.
So maybe on another occasion she could be invited to
to speak.
Educate us a little more.
Certainly the
about
community
what
bus.
this entails.
Certainly the community bus, you know, we are going to try to reach out to her and see if we can have her here, you know, to give our explanation on what is really taking place, you know. And maybe you need
From
to
an environmental standpoint, yes.
Maybe you need to forward that article. Can go through it, you know, and see what she has there.
I certainly can do that.
Yes.
I
want the public to know that you can email Simone Maddox a new kind of justice at gmail.com. A new kind of justice at gmail.com, you know, because this is something for all of us. A new kind of justice.
Indeed.
For Jamaica. It is not just Simone is just the mother for the child, you know, but it's all of us. Child, so I am a father for the child too, so I'll claim
multiple
mothers and fathers and auntie and grand-aunt
because we we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors.
Yes.
So we are never alone.
We are never alone. So this new kind of justice, you know, we have to nurture it and allow our people to find a way to justify falling to people. Say we need justice. From who? Seek that justice within yourself.
We need to know what the justice we need look like, what it really look like. We need to write down the vision and make it plain. So if we have a vision of justice, we need to be clear about what that vision is.
True.
And we can't be bawling. If we are bawling, as we're going to bawl when we feel pain, but we're going to have to stop bawl one at a time. And dry with tears and get to thinking about what we want.
That's true. That's profound, yes.
So we beat certain drums when we mother or father dead. We beat a different drum when we are married or when we are celebrate the birth of a baby like Anchorage.
Yes.
So we have to shift gears at some point, even while acknowledging that we carry different kinds of pain. We have to organize ourselves to explain what it is we want and what change we can bring as well.
True.
And that is what Anchorage is all about.
And as we say, Anchorage is about dialogue. It's about dialogue, how we communicate. So it's not that Simone come here so and a push down an idea. You know, it's
not at all.
Not at
In fact, there's so much for me to learn. Oh my
goodness. Good. So this is a dialogical kind of discourse pertaining to the development of Anchorage, how we can go forward, how all of us express one way of seeking justice or to justify ourselves.
Yes. And I want to make another point to Aymara. We are not here saying that mining in and of itself is something that is degrading to the environment and cannot be done in any kind of sustainable way. We are simply focusing our attention on how it is done and where it can be done in the best interest of the environment and all our people, and where it ought not to be done.
Yes, that's the important point.
In looking at that, I got a chance to just look at some of the requirements, you know, the process of mining. Individuals can get mining license, not just big companies.
True. I never know that. When we can go mine out, you know. You have no land, Simone, because we need to get into this mining thing.
There is a process.
Okay.
That includes individuals as well. Yes. So it says
wake up a little, Simone.
for eligibility.
Yeah. I get
to qualify.
Yeah, I see some clarity into this thing now. I remember talking to somebody close to the Maroon community, right? And it's not that this present chief, which this is the one who may be putting up the resistance, Chief Richard Curry.
I'm sorry.
You hearing me?
Repeat, I didn't hear you well.
Yeah, I'm saying this present chief seem like he is onto something different from the rest of chief, you know? And I don't, I was talking to somebody close to the Maroon community. It's not that he totally, as you were saying a while ago, objected to mining. But he's saying that if this is taking place in our territories and we are, you know, the owner of this land, you know, we're supposed to be benefiting from it. You know, we're supposed to have good road. Our people should supposed to live a decent life. So what I heard coming from this chief is partnership. I continue hearing him expressing himself that what he wants is partnership with the people who are doing the mining, you know, and just respect. You know, so
well, that is consistent with what the law says. That the Mining Act in 47 legislation law, it says any individual or company wishing to mine must first apply to the Mines and Geology Division through the Commissioner of Mines and obtain a mining lease. And that is a specific lease to go and mine. So that doesn't have to do with the ownership per se of the land. That is permission to mine, to do that. And it says that a mining lease is a possessive right. That means that you hold that right. When you get the mining lease, you have that right. And that right transfers the ownership of the mineral. Let us say it's gold. We'll skip out the backside for a moment and we say it's gold.
Yeah.
When you get your mining lease, you would have the right to own the gold that you mine. And you would own it once you give payment of a royalty to the government. So you see why the whole ownership issue of ancestral lands is such a live issue.
Yes, because the owner of the land giving the miners the lease, the miner has the right to ownership as well for what they mine, and that you say, and pay royalty to the official owner. So for instance, let me break it down. I'm own this piece of land, you know, and my piece of land is, and you know, me discover, me dig and me find some gold or something look like gold. And some people who into mining come in and say, all right, we have the equipment and all of the thing to dig further, you know. Is it that the land is still my land, or, you know, the people who know, because I mean I look on it, the people who know have who may go grant this lease now, say, all right, me I will give you the lease to mine this place. Who have the biggest portion of it? Me just want to put it in a little and say,
you still own the land.
Yes.
But you have to get the permission to dig up that land and to mine it.
And the permission have to come from the government.
And that is what is that is what is captured in the mining lease.
Wow.
But an interesting speculating in this part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But if the applicants in this current case are pursuing the ownership question based on the 1738 treaty.
Yes, 1738-39, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. If that whole question of ownership is determined according to the treaty, which would be in favor of the Maroons, sorry, then it would certainly challenge or nullify the concept of a mining lease as it is currently stated.
As it is currently stated in the 1947 law.
So it's some very interesting questions are going to be determined in this case. Something for what? Lawyers must watch it.
Yeah.
Ordinary persons must watch it. Community people must watch it. Maroons must watch it. Everybody can learn something about this.
Yes. This is really something educational.
Because it could result in the law having to be amended or changed in certain respects. It might even result in constitutional amendments. It's something that we should pay attention to.
Yeah. This is really a new kind of justice. Simone, I am telling you, this is something, that is, this baby born the right time, in a Jamaica, and we have to protect the mother, because you see that baby, this kind of new kind of justice. And me already a protected with my life, because me claim father for long time for this baby. You know what I mean? So
I'm telling you, this is really it is something that is giving both mother and baby a great deal of joy at this time.
Because
I love the law, and I like to go deep into the law in this way. And I like to serve people. I like when people understand what's going on.
True. And people, the ordinary citizen, this is what I'm talking about. From Fidel Castro, and he said that a people that is politically ignorant to the laws and the Constitution are slaves. And if you don't really understand the laws that really governing the citizens of the country, then the citizens are slaves, and they are at a disadvantage to those who can use the law to manipulate them. I'm using the word can, not necessarily that will, but I realize that a lot of the people who are struggling or suffering are giving away them things. Like me and you two as creators, intellectual property law is something that we need to talk about here in the next show, because that is something that we realize is very, very serious right now pertaining to this new kind of technological dispensation that we are in, this fourth industrial revolution.
Yes. And things are moving very fast.
Very fast. And some of us left behind and watch it just a slip away out our hand, especially our creative works, our intellectual property. We are literally giving it away, Let me just take some time out to say this, that Simone Maddox is also a poet, and we are also on Primal Poetic every Monday night, on Primal Media Network. So Julia, you can drop in and tune in one of them Monday night and listen to where I go on, Next week Monday after Primal Poetic, I will be launching my album called Voices and Dub on Primal Media, a listening party. Wow. So we want the people, plus my website too. So I am bigging up Diana Wright and 16 bars, for the great work that we have been doing, and so we're a family, man, and we're a family, and that's why we always talk about the principle of Kwanzaa, collective work and responsibility. to build and maintain our community together, and to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together. The Maroons are our brothers and our sisters, you know what I mean? And the people are St. Anne's, which other parish? St. Elizabeth, you know what I mean? Trelawney. We are all brothers and sisters. This that is happening in the cockpit country, as Simone Maddox said, is something that we must pay close attention to, because it's affecting us. I believe them say over 40% of our water resources comes from the cockpit country.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
we can't play around with this. We can't make this just say like that.
The company, the bauxite company owns a 49% stake, and the government of Jamaica owns 51% stake.
And that is something serious. We must pay attention to this. You know, who really own our lives? Who really own the resources that we're so dependent on? A very important resource like water. Imagine these people are in total control of it. What is going to happen to us? You know what I mean? Simone Maddox, anchored, a new kind of justice. You know, so the time run out, and you know we have to go talk again. So see you next strong, at least see you, because we will be on we'll be on primal poetic later. You know what I mean? And that will be,
and I will respond to emails sent to a new kind of justice at gmail.com.
Yeah, remember people, send your queries or your questions to a new kind of justice at gmail.com, you know, and Judge Simone Maddox will give you the necessary answer. We still call her judge, not farmer. Once a judge is always a judge.
It's really some people say that, and I take it with a great degree of affection and respect.
Yes.
But I am a lawyer.
And she's a lawyer in private practice. So when I reach out to her, seeing she's a part of our community, and we give thanks that she, you know, with such humility and respect for her people, you know what I mean, give birth to this new baby. And as me say, me are the father, so you can't go and run up on the mouth. Love and light, Miss friend Simone Maddox.
Yes, sir.
So we bless up the people over Primal. We give thanks. We small cast here, and you know we'll continue to do this. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful for this vibration. It's about education. It's about and on Saturdays, Primal Sport. What time? 4 o'clock. So this is revolution in media. You know what I mean? Primal and Fit FM. And many more link are coming on. You know, it's not a joke thing with the pan. It's a new kind of justice. Imara, the musical revolutionary, out.